I got to work on the chicken coop a little bit. I've got to increase ventilation. It's getting warm here, and yeah, these chickens that we have, this particular breed, the Pekin Bantam, they are more like cold weather chickens. We got to keep them cool. It's like they're wearing two complete Dunas, right? All the time. So, but anyway, there's some serious egg production going on, so I can't disturb them right now. So I'll continue with my bathroom. And what we're gonna do for now, as we are still waiting for the render to, well, more cure, we can start working here on the cupboard. This area here is going to be cupboard space and space for our laundry, for the dryer and the laundry machine. In that niche there, I will install all the plumbing and electricity, nice tucked away. And then this floor is at the height of the original floor of the bathroom, and I have it like that, with that hole going underneath the shower cubicle, so that in case of emergency, in case of leak, I can always reach to the drain of the shower. What we're going to do is just build up a raised floor out of wood, position everything on that, and then in front of the cupboard area, two doors. I've scored two old doors that are going to be put on a rail system to slide sideways. I gotta do quite a bit of carpentry up here to make provisions for the sliding doors to be fitted. Yeah, I better do that now before I continue working on the painting of the ceiling, because yeah, that wood that I'm going to install needs to be painted as well. So it's a bit of woodworking today, I guess. Yeah, let's get started. See, I bought these two doors. Well, this is one of them. The other one is still upstairs. But yeah, the idea is that I strip them from the hardware and I give them a nice paint job in the same color as the roof, I guess, and then turn them into sliding doors for the laundry. Yeah, of course, they all need to be painted and a lot of work needs to be done on them, but just want to give them a little dry fit, see how this cabinet is going to, what it's going to be look like roughly, and then I can determine what needs to be painted, when, how, what additional things we need to build. So I put this door in place and see what it looks like. Hmm. Yeah, well, I'm going to definitely need two of these tracks, right? Because one door has to slide in front of the other. I'm sure this is going to look really cool. Yeah, once everything is painted, and this hardware needs to be removed, although this is quite cute, huh, to keep on. I need to find a way. We need to do a little R&D. The first time I started painting the wood was with this sous-couche. A sous-couche is a primer coat. It's the first coat before you put any more expensive, good-looking lacquers on top. A sous-couche is, in my opinion, in my understanding, a coat that should really cover the wood and make it look white in this case. It didn't do that. This is a sous-couche based on water, like most paints here in France. I don't know whether that's a global thing, but yeah, they all seem to be based on water. I have my thoughts about that. Now, colors from the wood were coming through this paint. I tried to make the paint thicker, mixing in some lime in the paint, making it thicker and making it more like, yeah, you could work it with a float, like a putty, but that didn't really help the colors of the wood, the tannins, or I don't know what's in that it just came through the paint lime concoction. So then I bought a more expensive paint. That was this one, and I painted the beams, and that looks great. That's just fully covered. The beams are white. There's no color coming through. And this is also a sous-couche, a primer, but specified for, yeah, that it blocks what's in the substrate, in the wood. This is based on white spirit. Now, I bought a larger portion of that. Well, it's a bit different. It's this one. And this is, it says, sous-couche anti-tache. This is, it blocks humidity, grease, tobacco, nicotine deposits, rust, all kinds of day. It is a sous-couche, a primer for difficult substrates. And this is also based on white spirit. Now, I have treated this door yesterday with this sous-couche or this primer. I expect that the new one I have here is basically the same effect. And the shine on the paint, this glossiness, is something I really don't like. We don't want that. So what I think I will do is mix in some lime in this new sucouche. Now the difference with the last time is that the sucouche, the primer I mixed the lime in, was water based, and lime dissolves in water. This primer is based on white spirit. Will the lime give me the same effect? What will it do if I try to dissolve it in white spirit? So yeah, we're going to do a little, if hey will allow me, I can finish my sentence. I'm just gonna do a little bit of R&D, mixing lime with the new primer coat, smearing it on this door which has already received one coat, and then see what the result is. And if the result is positive, then I found my solution, because then I get a primer coat which will really block the substrate. It will really provide good coverage, and it will give this really matte effect. Yeah, I don't know whether that's dissolved, but it's definitely well, quite an even consistency. No lumps or stuff. Gonna blend in some paint and then yeah, do a little patch on this door. Yeah, the funny thing is that the chalky matte effect I got when mixing the lime in the primer coat is basically the same effect these very expensive home decoration paints are doing too. It's basically the same. I made a thinner batch that I can brush on, and the effect that I'm after, just for the record, is a well covering primer coat, white, with a matte effect, a lime chalky effect. And if this is really going to be turning out as I hope it would, then I have my solution for the rest of the house. Yeah, maybe some of you know this, because I think I've told it already before, but a long time ago, really long time ago, I used to create props for theme parks and stage performances, etc. And what we would do is really what I find really interesting, and that is using technique, engineering, conventional repair and build methods, but we would always be looking into what else can you do with them, and we would never really assume that what the manual says is are your rules and your limitations and your restrictions on the products. And that's basically what I'm doing now. I'm just making up my own formula, but both the paint supplier wouldn't say, hey, add some lime to the paint, and the lime producer wouldn't say, hey, why don't you mix it in with some white spirit based paint and create your own home decoration line. So the paint has now been curing for approximately 3 hours, and I think that this is going to work. Yeah, I think this is a great result. I did not blend the lime well enough. That's why you got all these hard bits. I don't know how many times I have painted this roof by now, but I think this is the final time. I might still have to apply Tadelact and a wax finish later if we decide to do so, because I think this really matte white paint doesn't look too bad at all. And the Tadelact will give a little bit of color, but if it's just to the walls and then keeping the ceiling white, it's maybe also nice, but we'll see about that later. Well, I've been over the ceiling many times, but I do have the right system now. And the right system is not this paint, but the other can that I had before, the Sukush primer coat for difficult wood. A little bit more expensive than any other paint, but definitely worth it. Plus a few big scoops of lime. I have an extra white lime that I put in, and then thin it out a little bit with white spirits to go back to the consistency of paint. And that will give a nice, really matte kind of top coat. Yeah, I'm really happy, and I'm going to use that throughout the house, wherever we will paint white. Yeah, pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. I just gotta install stops behind these rails so that the doors won't run out of rail. And I gotta do something about the bottom and install guides there so that the doors don't swing. And yeah, they don't run into each other as well. But so far so good. I'm pretty happy with the look of them. It's really what we want. Well, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for liking, for subscribing, for commenting. A big, massive thank you to the people below here. They really help me keeping this channel going. And if you think that I deserved it, you could buy me a coffee too. See the link below or the link in the description. Now, for next time, I'm gonna do a whole lot of digging, because I gotta hook up the house, the sewage system, to the main sewage system outside of the house. And that is all happening in the basement. I gotta drill a hole through my basement wall and hook up our sewage system, which I need to install, to the main sewage system outside of the house. And for that I need to dig a whole lot. I'm gonna have to dig inside the soil outside in our little garden and then break open the wall in the basement and hook us up to the main sewage before I can close it all up. But that is all if the weather plays ball. Well, we'll see it next time. Cheers now, bye bye.